Hi ladies, and welcome to another weekly prep of a working mom. This week you're gonna get a little bit of everything. We had some cleaning, some food prep, we had family over during the weekend, so I was getting some food ready for that, and then I was prepping some veggies for the week ahead. There is some planning, and of course going through some paperwork, which just, as you know, accumulates on our desks and definitely on mine on a weekly basis. And we are starting with just clearing up the kitchen island, which is whenever we go grocery shopping, we typically put away anything that needs to go to the fridge right away, and then everything else goes on the island and we get to it as soon as possible. And I say that because we typically do Costco hauls on Fridays, right after I finish working on my working day. So in the evenings, we typically have swimming classes for kids, so we don't get to putting it away. So it typically my kitchen island on those days when we do Costco hauls is full, and usually it coincides with when we also go to pick up our Walmart groceries. So it is what it is. That's usually how my island looks like at the beginning of the weekend, or I should say every other weekend, because that's how we typically shop. So that's what I wanted to start with to clear it off. And then as soon as that was done, I was moving to the rest of the kitchen, starting with the sink.
How will you let me in if you are ready? How do I reach you? I'm thinking about us, you're thinking about it too. Higher and higher, I'm gonna raise the flag. Fire oh fire, send out a flare to find. Give me a reason. I'm gonna send a sign, calling you over, calling you to.
If you are new here, welcome. My name is Marta. I am a full-time working mom of two. And on my channel, you'll find a lot of content about house and time management for working moms. So a lot of routines and systems, weekend preps, just things that are, typically happening in a life of a working mom to just be motivational, giving you some tips, some ideas on how to try to balance that work responsibility and house responsibilities while just having also time to spend with your family. So if you enjoy this type of content, make sure that you subscribe down below to see more videos from my channel. And that particular weekend, I also decided to tackle one of those deep cleaning tasks that I have for myself, which was cleaning under the couch. I don't know, I didn't actually show the footage. I thought I captured it, but I did not. How much stuff was under there? I don't know how this is happening all the time. It's a lot of little toys and coins. I'm guessing from kids playing because we don't really use coins that much anymore. So let me know if the situation looks the same at your house. Somehow kids just, I don't know if it rolls from the floor, I don't know, but there was just so much stuff besides obviously the dust that gathers there, but just so many little toys and little things that definitely should not be there. So let me know in the comments how that looks in your house, and also how often do you actually move the couch, because I try to do it once, probably like on quarterly basis if you will, because that's how I rotate my deep cleaning tasks. But sometimes I wonder if I need to do it more often just by the sheer volume of things that I found under it.
Cold hand, frozen feet, raindrops falling on the street. I can't recall when I last saw the sun. Summer's just a memory, a faded piece of history. No one can remember all the fun. The late night barbecue, zipping on a gin and juice, cruising down the road, no thought getting old. The girls are hot.
And like I said, this was the weekend when we had some family over, so I was just getting some stuff ready. I didn't record most of the prep. I'm just kind of the type of person when I get in a zone, I just do it. And when I have to film it, it's just a lot of coordination and it just takes time away from my prep. So I didn't capture most of it, but I did get a little footage of me putting the kind of desserts plates together. And then another plate that I was preparing was for, we were having burgers and hot dogs and sausages. So I wanted to create like a plate for the burgers so people can kind of create their own. So I just putting some onion, tomato, pickle, and some lettuce.
The girls are hot, but the beer is cold. Yeah, that's the way we roll. Bathing in the sun, on the beach, having fun. Whoa, these lazy days are never done. I work hard every day, don't waste my time on yesterday. I never shy away from a good time. Coming on Friday night, I see my friends and feel alright. There ain't no stopping us from having fun. There ain't no cloud in sight. The future is looking bright. Cruising down the road, no thought of getting old. Girls are hot, but the beer is cold. Yeah, that's the way we roll. Bathing in the sun, on the beach, having fun. Whoa, these lazy days are never done.
And this is just a little preview of all the food we had. We had some shish kebabs, some burgers, some hot dogs, a lot of condiments, fruit, just a lot of food for a summer weekend. And this is, I believe, either the next day or a day after that. I want to, since the video was filmed a while ago, so it might have been one of those long weekends. I was doing some food prep for the weekend, and I was also making some cheesecake. Both my son and my husband really enjoy cheesecakes, so I wanted to do something for them. And whenever I kind of get into that food prep zone, I try to do as many things as possible in this kind of time block. So I had some bananas that needed to be frozen because they were, as you can see, going really brown. So I put those away so I could freeze them, and I will typically use that for my smoothies. But I try to kind of not do prepare one thing and not others. I try to put basically all those similar tasks into one time block so I knock them out faster. So that way I can do a little bit of, if you will, multitasking. I mean, whenever you're cooking food, you know, you can do a few things at once. As, for example, I was waiting for the cheesecake to mix, I was prepping some veggies. So I feel like that sometimes saves me some time and I'm able to do just a little more when I'm doing the food prep.
When you stepped into my life, such a magic feeling when you tore down my walls. I wish I could go back to right before you told me I'd try to change it all. But look at us now, we could have gone so far. It hurts to realize we're parted. Yeah, look at us now, this is who we are.
So for me, food prep on the weekends is usually the veggies. I don't really find it that helpful to prepare more than that, but veggies are one of those things that if I don't get it prepared on the weekend, we typically just skip the veggie when we're eating dinner, or if I'm doing lunch, I'll just gravitate to something that's easier to grab. Versus when I have some veggies ready, I'll just eat whatever is ready because it's easy to get. And on that particular weekend, I was doing spaghetti squash. So I just bake it. I put some olive oil, some salt, pepper, and garlic. And I use that throughout the week for either as a lunch option or for dinner instead of pasta. And just to be clear, it's just me who's using or who's eating that. None of my family members like it. And later on, you're gonna also see me preparing some Brussels sprouts. That's another veggie that I was preparing for the week because it's just easy to grab as a side. So let me know also how, whenever you do the weekend prep or the weekly prep, do you just concentrate on veggies? Do you kind of do breakfast, lunch? What is the typical thing that you do when you're doing a weekly food prep?
Yeah, look at us now, this is who we are. And I just know things will never be the same. We're like strangers again. Strangers again. We're like strangers again. I just know things will never be the same.
And the Brussels sprouts, they came out okay. I think I just broiled them in the oven, just like I did with the spaghetti squash. And I feel like I need some better recipe for it to make it taste even better, because I was eating it, but it was like I had to almost like convince myself, you should keep eating it. So if you have any good ones, let me know down below. But I'll definitely be looking for a better recipes to make them just a little bit tastier. And of course, after a lot of actually, there wasn't that much food prep, but anytime I bake or do food prep, there's always a bunch of dishes to take care of afterwards. I try to do it as I go. Sometimes they just pile up in the sink until I'm done with everything. But it's always great when I can really keep on top of it as I am cooking, so I don't have to have this giant pile of things to wash. And I think that's one of the things that I dislike about the food prep is the amount of dishes that it accumulates.
Never be the same, like strangers again.
And cheesecakes do not last long in our house. We typically are done with most of it over like 2-day period, and then there's like one little piece left for my son to have later on in a week. But we go through it pretty quickly. And a last thing that I was doing was kind of the office paperwork and planning. So I wanted to get ready for my week ahead, and one of the best things that I know I can do for myself is to plan ahead. I don't do planning in a very detailed way. I like to do priorities. I plan priorities for my work, for my household, and then priorities for my side business. So it's kind of like setting small goals for the week. I use Erin Condren's planner. I found it to be extremely helpful for me as a working mom and juggling all those responsibilities. And I have a few videos on my channel on how I do both weekly planning and monthly planning. So if you are interested, I'm gonna link a couple of them down below. So whenever I plan for my work, I like to check on my phone different meetings that I have coming up during the week, so I know if I need to prep for those meetings, if there are any presentations I have to do, things like that, so I can spread it out throughout the week. I typically plan a lot of things at the beginning of the week. That way I can tackle all those priorities early on. And if there is anything that is gonna, as always, pop in randomly that kind of takes me away from working on my priorities, I have the rest of the week to catch up. So that is kind of like the system that I like to use when I'm planning for my work assignments. And then it was time to do my weekly sort through all the paperwork. So what I have in my office, and I have shown that in previous videos, I have a video that shows kind of my office setup. I have two folders that are designated for the paperwork that is coming in. One folder is for like weekly things, so things that I need to go through on a weekly basis. And then I have another folder that is marked monthly, and it's just if there's something that comes in and I don't have to take care of it right away, I just put it in that monthly folder and then go through it on a monthly basis. But I like to do that so the paperwork doesn't accumulate on my desk, and I try to get to it on the weekend, which is typically on a Sunday, just going through all the paperwork, filing it, things away, paying bills, things of that nature. So let me know what's your system. Are you the kind of person who is really good at, whatever comes in, address it right away and then file away? Or are you more like me when I have to put everything in one spot and address it on a weekly basis? And that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.